All right, today we're going to peel back the layers on the professional cleaning industry. We all love walking into a spotless space, but have you ever stopped to think about the hidden dangers and, frankly, the incredible skill it takes to get it that way?
So let me ask you this. Think cleaning is an easy job? When you picture a professional cleaner, you probably imagine someone with a mop or a vacuum, right? Looks pretty straightforward. But is it really that simple?
Well, the reality is, professional cleaning is actually a pretty high risk occupation. And the most common injuries, they aren't what you'd think. It's not about big, dramatic accidents. It's the slow, grinding toll of doing really strenuous, repetitive tasks, often under some pretty tight deadlines. So let's break it down. Where does it actually hurt? Because the injuries that cleaners get aren't just random bad luck. No, they follow very, very clear patterns that are directly tied to the physical demands of the work itself. And this is where it gets really interesting. This isn't just a guess. The data shows us exactly which parts of the body take the biggest hit. Think of them as injury hotspots. So let's count down the top three. Topping the charts, with over a fifth of all injuries, is the back. And it's no surprise, really. Think about the constant bending to mop, hunching over to vacuum, and lifting heavy trash bags or buckets of water. It all adds up. Coming in at number 2, we've got the shoulder. Again, just picture the motions. You're reaching up high to dust or clean windows. You're wrestling with a heavy floor polisher, or you're just doing that constant push and pull with a vacuum cleaner for hours. That creates a massive amount of strain over time. And rounding out our top 3 are the hands and fingers. The risks here are all over the place. We're talking everything from cuts while cleaning sharp machinery, to skin damage from cleaning chemicals, and even the serious risk of needle stick injuries when they're handling the trash. Okay, so with all these dangers lurking, how do the pros actually handle it? Well, it's not just about being careful. That's not a strategy. The industry uses a really structured, systematic way to spot and control these hazards before anyone gets hurt. And this is absolutely crucial. You have to understand the difference between a hazard and a risk. A wet floor, for example, that's a hazard. The risk is how likely it is that someone is going to slip on it and break a leg. A true professional doesn't just see the puddle, they calculate the odds. And this is how they do it. It looks complicated, but the idea is simple. You plot how likely an accident is against how bad the injury could be. Anything that lands in that red extreme or orange high zone becomes an immediate priority. It's a way of turning this vague idea of danger into a concrete action plan. It basically turns safety into a science. So that's the theory. But what does this actually look like in the real world? As you're about to see, sometimes the most effective solutions are surprisingly simple adjustments to the tools and the way people work. Here we go, a perfect example. On the left, that short vacuum wand is forcing the cleaner to hunch over, putting all that pressure right on the number 1 injury spot, the back. The solution? So simple. An adjustable wand lets them stand up straight. It's a tiny change to the tool that makes a massive difference to their health. We've all seen this, right? Lugging a heavy, sloshing water around. It's a double whammy. You've got the strain of lifting it, and the sloshing water creates a slip hazard. The professional fix is just elegant. Put the bucket on wheels. Boom. You've just eliminated the need to bend and lift, and you've cut down the risk of spills. And it's the exact same logic with a mop. That short handle you see on the left, it's a recipe for back and shoulder pain because it forces you to bend and reach. But on the right, a longer telescopic handle lets the cleaner stay upright in a much more neutral posture. It's not just safer, it's way more efficient. Oh, and bathrooms? That's a whole other level of tricky. Leaning over a tub like that puts an incredible amount of stress on your back and your knees. The pro solution is to use tools like long-handled brushes. This way, they can get the job done right, all while standing in a stable position. It's the classic case of working smarter, not harder. But hey, the dangers for professional cleaners go way beyond just muscle strain. Their office is constantly changing, and they have to be trained to spot and handle a ton of other hidden hazards that most of us would never even think about. I mean, just look at this list. It's wild. They need to know how to handle hazardous chemicals, deal with electrical risks, what to do if they find discarded needles, protocols for infectious diseases. A professional cleaner is basically a multi-talented safety expert. Let's just zoom in on one that people often miss: electricity. Cleaners are always using equipment like vacuums and polishers, and they're often using them near water. That's a textbook recipe for a serious electric shock.
That's why checking equipment before you use it and having safety devices that cut the power instantly if something goes wrong, well, that's completely non-negotiable. And then you have biohazards. It's a really tough part of the job, but cleaners can come across things like used syringes. A single needle stick injury can be life-changing. So professionals are trained in very specific, careful procedures for how to handle and get rid of these items safely, using special tools like tongs and puncture-proof containers.
So, when you start to put all these pieces together, the deep knowledge of physical strain, the systematic way of assessing risk, the training for all these hidden dangers, that's when you really start to see what separates a true professional service from everyone else.
This quote from a real cleaning company just says it all, doesn't it? The best companies don't just sell clean, they sell safety and they sell peace of mind. They make this stuff, occupational health and safety, or OH&S, a central part of their brand because they know it's the foundation of a truly reliable service. Because this is what professionalism really is. Yes, it's about knowing all the safety rules, but it's also about trust. It's about rigorous background checks. It's about training and confidentiality. At the end of the day, a professional service is committed to protecting everyone, their own staff from getting hurt, and you, the client, from any kind of risk or liability.
And really, that's what this all boils down to. When you see a company that is absolutely committed to safety, they're not just ticking boxes or following rules. They are showing you that they are committed to excellence in everything they do. Safety isn't separate from quality, it's a direct sign of it.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. The next time you walk past one of those yellow wet floor signs or you see a cleaner at work, what are you going to see? Hopefully not just someone doing a simple chore, but a skilled professional who's managing a complex and high-risk environment just to keep all of us safe.